All right, everyone, we are here with War 3 against GT40. Very tough, very top alliance. Today I'm taking in Sorcerer Supreme, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Mr. Negative. I have Path 1 in Section 1 and Path 8 in Section 2 again. I also have a middle mini-boss, a mini-boss on Boss Island, and I am on boss duty. So you guys saw me last war take this path with the same idea for Mr. Negative since Man-Thing is on node 20. So I was assigned here again. The only difference with this arc overload is that it's Mangog and he is an unstoppable armor champion. So there are a couple risks here, and you're going to see him full blown in this video, where if it doesn't actually go my way RNG wise, I'm kind of boned. So game plan here, just like Doom, was while he's unblockable and healing at the start to build any light energy we can, but of course the AI has been pretty passive when they're unblockable here, so the most I've been getting is 1. And instead of invade countering there, I just go ahead and parry heavy twice, and there's only enough time here before the unstoppable armor to wait and make sure it's not going to trigger unstoppable. He throws SP1, that's fine. We're going to evade counter here, and he has unfazed. So a little problematic, but now we're going to parry while we're against the wall and try and build a couple more. But you see those timers there? If that had been unstoppable, we probably would have had an unstoppable, unblockable Mangog, which means more face shots, and I would have had to, against the wall, try and evade counter when his unstoppable ended. But luckily, he didn't go unstoppable there. So a bit risky. I would probably go with like a Doom or a Claire instead, so that you can prevent a lot of what's going on. Here, Immortal Hulk went ahead and took it with Cosmic Ghost Rider so that I could bring Sorcerer Supreme instead of an actual counter for iHulk. The game plan here is the usual rotation with Cosmic Ghost Rider when it comes to building to SP2, which is parry heavy judgment, parry medium ending with a light for power gain judgment, and then parry medium ending with a medium vigilance judgment, which falls right into SB2. Doing it all without triggering decks, so we get a good attempt there at the start. Luckily he has a slow heavy, so we didn't trigger dexterity. Here's the power gain, didn't trigger dexterity there. Again, another lucky kind of dex, and this puts us into SB2, and we have cosmic boosts, so this is going to put us right back into SB2. We're going to go ahead and throw it again, and this is going to put him down into immortality. Now, to be honest, I didn't go reread his abilities before, and I still haven't read them to make sure that the immortality disappears with an SB3, so I was kind of waiting for it to end, and once it ended, I threw SB3. So whether that ability functions the same way as Herc or not, this still KOs him. I added a few seconds to our war timer, not the end of the world. But down he goes nice and easy. And then the real assignment I'm here for with Mr. Negative, this Man-Thing on node 20. You guys saw me take it last war. The end of my SP2 had an unstoppable ready on Man-Thing, but luckily the degen placed, so he went down nice and smooth. Here, there's just a lot to pay attention to. I'm pretty sure a third timer shows up out of nowhere, and I'm not really sure what it's for. It might be for his heavy unstoppable now that I think about it. Anyways, game plan here, he has masochism, is to parry and then reparry. That'll give you 4 lights. Throw in the heavy. That'll give you a fury, which will give you another light energy when you dash back. And because there's enough time here, I go ahead and parry medium light, evade counter after his unstoppable, and here he goes triggering it. So that's 7 dark energy, and I've done 5 hits. So it's going to be very important here with the next set of light energy to trigger the armor up and make sure there's no unstoppable. And now that there isn't, we evade counter into SB2, and he just goes ahead and melts. And then from here, it's just kind of play it safe and do a few combos, a few hits, just to help that degen knock him out, and he goes down again. There's just a lot to pay attention to. I'm always happy when it works out, but that is a very complicated fight. Moving on, Venom here, Sorcerer Supreme. You guys saw me take him last war with her. Ends up being a great counter because she doesn't have any buffs besides the dexterity. and she has the constant slow from Inequity Blessing. So invulnerability boost is my game plan. That way, if I need to, I can tank any SP3s, because it's really just about power gain with this node between Power Snack and Backup Recovery. So we're just mindful when his 50% happens. And I mean, I didn't update the game, so we're on the old one just in case there were any bugs, but Venom's one of those that sometimes you think you parried and you end up getting smacked in the face. So I think it's coming up pretty soon. I'm going to end up wasting right there my invulnerability boost. So now a little bit of panic just means we really can't push him to SP3. But we start rolling here. We got some slow debuffs up. Now we're going to push. Here I was trying to get as much range as possible so that he'd be willing to throw SP2 without me triggering Power Snack. Now we're just waiting for us to get into Inequity right there with the heavy attack. Now I'm going to bait this SP2 out, and then we're going to go ahead and throw this SP3 so that we store a permanent slow rune. This way all our special attacks place a slow debuff, and now we won't have to worry about unstoppable armor when it comes to getting hit in the face. We still have to be aware that he will be stun immune if he goes unstoppable. So now it's just throwing a bunch of special attacks, SB2, SB1, another big SB2 here. I had to bait at range. I'm probably just going to focus on SB2s the entire fight from here until he's down. One SB1. It doesn't really matter. She's so sustainable for these fights, and properly boosted, she kills things so quickly. I mean, not insanely quickly. Not Cosmic Ghost Rider level, but good enough for a champion who can counter unstoppable armor pretty reliably outside of Tigra. And down he goes. So another successful Power Snack fight where we ended at full health. All right, and then path 8, we've got Magneto and Tigra. Just going to take them with Mr. Negative. Pretty nice that I don't have to worry about high ground anymore, so Magneto is actually very easy to treat like a Mystic when I use Mr. Negative. What that means is PS1, parry heavy 3 times, evade counter to bank 9 dark, and then build a little bit more light energy, maybe bait out a special attack, so whatever light energy we get, baiting that out, and then evade counter into SB2, and then just let them melt. So that's exactly what you were going to see frame by frame here against Magneto. Here's your third parry heavy. We're going to dash back. We're going to evade counter. He was just shy of SB1, so perfect. We didn't have to block bait. Now we're trying to bait out this SB1, and he's given us some light energy for it, taking his sweet time. And here we go. And now we can just easily evade counter into SB2. And now he just goes ahead and melts. We're going to hit him with a few combos and be a little cheeky with some more evade counters just to kind of help it along, and game over. On to Tigra. Should be the exact same. What you're going to see, and what I actually forgot, was that the Fury buffs that I gained from the Parry Heavy are going to kind of push me with the Rich Get Richer, since Tigra has no buffs. So I almost get to SB2 or SB3 here. What also helps, and you're going to see it in a bit, is that I was not prepared for her after my first evade counter, which is going to come right here. So block bait and attack, evade counter on the second hit. And after this evade counter, I wanted to block a hit, and she threw her SB1, and like an idiot, I blocked. I do have Resonate on, but of course, with how long it took for her to come in and it not being on, it didn't prevent the unblockable. So anyways, we got to SB2. She's melting. We were ready for that one, mostly because we're not trying to block anything. And then a cheeky evade counter there at the end. All right, and then Mojo here on 47. Taking this too many times to count. We're going to invulnerability boost. Mojo is getting stubborn about his special attacks on this node. Anyways, game plan is to parry and actually do a combo ending with a light attack and dashing out in the hopes that he will throw SP1 in retaliation. And here we're just missing parries, which is causing us to go to the wall a little bit more. and for him to gain unnecessary power. Trying to bait this out, he did. I, like a dummy, block it. So now we got an SB2 that I'm going to go ahead and dex fully against the wall, except for the last hit. Now we're going to evade counter. So now we have 9 dark energy, which is great. He will not throw this SB1 to the point where the next prompt is use a special attack. And he could do it, and then he'd be at 5 followers, and then I'd have to deal with a Fury. But no, he actually passes that prompt and gets me to the wall and just won't throw it. So now we're at SB2. I was actually not ready for him to throw that, so I ate it. We're mitigating some of the damage. And I guess that's one way to build over 10 dark energy, is to get knocked down. And then we just throw SB2. In the time it took for us to recover from his SB2, the indestructible buff disappeared. Not the cleanest, but whatever. That was the end of Mr. Negative's war. All right, and then Sorcerer, I was really trying to fit on the team for this Sersi on Stun Reflect. I 6-hour boost here. I should have 6-hour boosted after section 1 instead of section 2. Instead of 6-hour boosting in section 1. But I really did it here because of timing and just what I had going on with the day. I needed to clear Sersi so the next person could clear Null, and then I could take the boss. And I didn't want to double 1-hour boost. So I just went ahead and ate the 6-hour boosts. Anyways, Sorcerer Supreme gains her own power. I think it's 25% of her max power over 9 seconds. So polka dot power here isn't a worry, considering Sorcerer does not have any DOT. So what we're really doing here is we're taking our time to SB1, baiting her SB1, dexing all of it, and then we're hoping to throw SB1 and use MD to get to SB2. Really, you don't have to get to SB3 this fight. There's nothing we're focused on. We really just want to throw SB1s and SB2s and just lay on the damage. You're going to see one special one from her that I stupidly try and block the last hit right there, thinking because of the animation that it wasn't going to hit me. And then I forgot that if you don't dex the animation, the rest of the animation shows up and you actually get hit. So anyways, we're here. We're rolling between SB1, SB2, taking care of business. She's going down nice and quick. We took a good bit of damage from that SB1 and getting stunned. But what you're going to see is because of Resolve and the benefit with the rune from that, we are actually going to heal all the way back to full. And she's going down nice and fast here. These constant SB2s are really kicking her butt. We get quite a few while in Ferocity, thanks to Mystic boosts and some MD since she nullifies on the first hit. And then I think it's just one more SB2. Here's our full bar. I bait out this last SB1, and then I go ahead and boom, take her out here. So it's a good call. Ended up being a good fight. All right, and then last but not least is this boss. For some reason, we have a Killmonger boss. Who knows? Maybe they're trying to bait a Hercules with a synergy. I think it's Cap for armor break. But because of the existence of Cosmic Ghost Rider, I don't really get this boss. Anyways, benefit here, Killmonger's a villain, so he's going to start armor broken permanently, so we don't have to worry about thorns or reverb. And Cosmic Ghost Rider, when boosted, is just crazy. I remember when people were taking this Killmonger boss with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I was just absolutely jealous because I didn't have a Cosmic Ghost Rider. So I was excited for this, but also worried because it's the first time I've ever used Cosmic Ghost Rider for a boss. So we triggered Dex there, so I decided to go with the Vigilance Judgment. Then we went ahead and did the Heavy Judgment, and then we went immediately into the Power Gain one and then pushed to SB3. The Aptitude lasted until we got to SB3, which means this Fury is going to be boosted. And because the SB3 was the 5th Judgment, this Fury is going to last quite a while. So I didn't originally plan to go this route, but because I triggered decks, this is where we are. Forgot about the Unstoppable. It's fine. We got away with not triggering decks there, so there's the heavy. Got away again. We're going to power gain here, and then we're going to throw SP2. There's our 5 judgments because we got hit, and we had gained an armor up buff because of the Fury. We did so much, and we went immediately to SP2 to the point where it's not even going to matter that I trigger decks there because I still have the crit buff from the first SP2, and he was just gone. So very satisfying. Didn't really have anything to worry about with how worried I was prior to that fight, but I was glad I got to experience that. Our BG ended up beating their BG 3-2. However, we ended up losing to GT40 6-7. So shout out to GT40. Good job. I believe they're defending first place, guys, from last season. But I'm still surprised that they died 6 times. This war was closer at the end than I thought it would be. It was actually 4-7 when I went and took that boss. Might have been 5-7. And as you can tell with time, it would have required 2 more deaths for us to actually win this war. So we still got to get our death count down, but it's good to see that we're kind of sort of competing, and we had a good first week going 2-1 as compared to our usual starts where we go 1-2 or 0-3. So I hope you guys enjoyed the war. It was a long one. It was a big one. Hit subscribe, follow, and share, and I will catch you guys at the next war.